Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us on the first and intro episode of the Pave It Forward podcast. My name is Phil Metzger, and with me is Kevin Gray, and we are here to help leaders in the paving industry who are looking to run more efficiently, meet their ideal customer, and improve the lives of those around them through meaningful work. Kevin, how are we doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. This has been a long time coming, my brother. We have been talking about this for quite some time. And, something that I'm obviously very passionate about, being able to pave it forward. That means, giving back in whatever capacity, fashion we can to this industry that I love so much and care so much about, and have seen the results that can come from purpose driven, spreading of the good word of the industry, teaching practices, teaching, culture, whatever it may be, man. So it's I'm feeling great. I'm excited. I'm fortunate and blessed that we're finally at a point in my career within our business here also that I'm gonna have some time to commit to this. So that is obviously refreshing, and gets me pumped up. This is, it's for a long time. It's been, questions been asked, you talk about entrepreneurs and business leaders, owners, whatever, like what gets them out of bed in the morning. And for so long, it's been, changing the lives, improving the lives, creating a better atmosphere, creating, even generational change for our employees here at ADC Paving. And what I'm coming to realize is that through the massive amount of correspondence we have received, mostly through social media, people reaching out and asking questions, wanting to learn more, kind of pick our brains, that I'm also being called, there's a purpose, being called to help whoever in the industry. And that's, I think it's time to capitalize on that, not capitalize that in a monetary or financial fashion, but to capitalize on what I'm being called to do, and ultimately building out, filling out, more of my purpose of why I'm here for the however many years I got left. You know what I mean? So it's filling myself up with purpose and coming to the realization. We've been talking about it for a year, maybe a year and a half now. Like it's time to start giving back to this industry. So I'm pumped, man. I'm feeling great today. I know that was a long answer for how I'm doing today, but damn, this stuff gets me excited, man.
That's exactly the energy that, ever since I first met you, it's been more than just running that company, ADC Paving. And I've been lucky enough to be with you, to work with you, and absorb some of that energy and mentality that you bring every day. And when I look at the paving industry as a whole, it's clear that it's an industry where you can make a lot of change through not only your leadership and operations type mentality, but also that the culture and just the way you operate, the way you enjoy getting out of bed every day, the way it reflects back to your employees, and honestly through the marketing as well. I run the marketing for ADC Paving, your company, and so I've gotten to use that documentary style to really watch you work. And a lot of people, when I first meet them, there's this idea of what they want their culture to be. They may not even know it's culture or identify it as culture, but they know what they want their daily work lives to be for them and their employees. And honestly, it's a facade. You put on a certain smile and your salesman face when you get in front of the camera, but we've been working together for 3+ years, almost 4 now. And it is really, truly inspiring to see the energy, enthusiasm, and the purpose that you've given people that just thought that they were going to pick up a rake or shovel and make a little bit of money. You've got employees that are really dedicated, and it's just really neat to see that all that translates into growth. So I know I'm excited about trying to pinpoint exactly what those things are within business, specifically the paving industry, that can take leaders within the industry and take them to that next level, to where they're not only financially sound, but they feel like they have a great life that they can live with themselves, their families, everyone that surrounds them. And that includes both their clients and their staff. So I just want to real quickly tell the listeners, that this show, it will be a weekly podcast. We are looking to release on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and it will be on all major platforms soon enough. So subscribe where you can. If not, it will be on that platform soon. You will also be able to find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram for behind the scenes stuff. And we'll also be publishing some information there. And hopefully that'll be a nice sidekick to this podcast where you can, whether it be motivation or leadership tactics or operations type things within the paving industry, we really hope to bring you a lot of value. So our goal for this podcast is to leave you, the listener, with solutions and ideas to help you change your culture, marketing, or day-to-day operations for the better. And we don't just want to give facts. We hope that the way we communicate enables you all to visualize the changes within your own company. You know, it's easy to see other people doing things and want to emulate that. And I do believe that in learning these things and observing these things, you can learn a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the business owner, you're the leader within your company, and it's about your vision and how you want to run the company. So we hope that you can leave our podcast and our information with truly a vision of where you want to go. And hopefully we can help you with some of the tougher decisions and maybe take even some time off that learning curve. And ultimately, we want those business goals to really translate for you. So, Kevin, when I first met you, you were knee deep running ADC Paving, which is in Louisville, Kentucky, by the way. And you were talking about changing your own cultures, and you're making major decisions for your businesses, purchasing equipment, a lot of wheeling and dealing. And you would still talk about how you want to change the paving industry as a whole, which I thought was extremely interesting. I had just met you. We were talking about marketing for ADC, and you wanted to change the industry as a whole. And you've kind of come from it from a mentorship type standpoint. You've always wanted to help people through your guidance. So what is it about education, coaching, or mentorship that really created that drive in you to do more than just own a business?
Well, I think it stems back to whatever experience I had or whatever happened inside of me during my experience with my mentors in my early years. You know, back in I started getting around. You know, it's a little short story. This company was founded in 1959 by my wife's grandfather. He ran it until 1980 when he passed away at a very young age of 59. I'm sure at some point during all of this, we'll get into the meaning of the number 59 and how it runs deep through the walls here at ADC Paving. And then my wife's aunt ran the business from 1980 to 2011. So I kind of started getting involved, just getting familiar with this particular company in 2009. Just learning the ins and outs of kind of how it operated, what it looked like, what the equipment looked like, what the people, the crews, you know, kind of the staff would look like. And, you know, so did that for a couple of years. It was July of 2011 when my wife and I finally pulled the trigger, took out a $125,000 small business loan and purchased the company. And I think what happened is 2011, 12, 13, 14, you know, my first 3 to 5 years, my relationship with Joe Doherty of Louisville Paving, my relationship with Danny Wood, who's my wife's cousin, who owns a very successful paving operation, Athens, Atlanta, down in Atlanta, Georgia, who at that time was basically who we have become today as far as, you know, size and efficiencies, production, revenue, something I didn't know that back then we could ever attain, because I was so infatuated and just impressed about how well they operated, how good, how well oiled of a machine they were, and, you know, their efficiencies, their logistics, the culture. So, you know, the relationship with Joe Doherty, the relationship with Danny Wood, my father-in-law worked in the business with me for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. There were certainly some things I took from him as well that helped. But something happened with those couple guys, those mentors that were willing, you know, owning paving businesses of their own, you know, one of them being now a direct local competitor. We're nowhere near the size of Global Paving. They're a couple $100 million construction operation, but the willingness they had to take time out of their day, to take time out of their schedules. These guys are extremely busy, to allow me to come in and watch their operations, spend time with their crews, going out to lunch, taking me to meetings, whatever. I'd go down and spend weeks at a time in Atlanta with my wife's cousin, and just treated me like I was one of their own, and so something happened with the relationship I established with those guys that was super impactful and meaningful to me. That is, I wouldn't be, ADC wouldn't be who we are today without those people, giving me their time, and sharing their wealth of wisdom and history and experience and knowledge, that the hard lessons they've learned. You talk about, and that's what we're trying to do here, I think, Phil, is it can be a very lonely thing being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, especially in this industry where sometimes it's hard to even staff an entire crew of people. It can be a lonely place, and we're talking about getting people around us. We're talking about building a circle out, people that you can count on, rely on, and like I said, ADC would not be where we are today without those relationships, without those people's time. And I want to be able to give that back to whoever may want it. We may not be a great fit for everybody. We may be a great fit. I've had more people not say, you should be helping people learn and understand how to run a successful paving operation business. And that doesn't mean all field stuff. That doesn't mean all culture stuff. It doesn't mean all operation. I mean, just the whole piece of the pie, the whole picture. And just wanting to give back, and what that did for me, this is 2021, so I'm 10, 11 years into owning this business. I can't imagine where we would be today if it weren't for those mentors of mine, those people, those coaches that were willing to take time out of their schedules to help me. One, being a local competitor, which is, still amazes me. Like I'm just be honest, like I'm taking millions of dollars out of his business every day now. We're winning jobs against them. Like he was still crazy. Willing. He has such a willingness to help. That it's like, man, something struck a chord with me in that. And what it did. When I said, I can't imagine where we'd be today, I think we would be nowhere near where we are today. We wouldn't be who we are. We wouldn't have the culture, people, equipment, reputation, brand. You've been a huge impact on our brand identity and marketing, and actually gotten me more comfortable and familiar in front of this camera. Like you're a big part of why people are reaching out to us, because we've put ourselves out there. We're very transparent. It eliminates the learning curve. It eliminates those hard lessons and lumps and sleepless nights and financial stress. And, how am I going to get through the winter? How am I going to pay rent? I can't pay my crews because we're not, I thought we were making money, but we're not making money. We did $1 million in sales, and we worked hard all year. You get to, and some of these folks get to November, December, when they're shutting down, they have zero money in their bank account, and they don't know why. Because no one's ever taught them how to use their accounting software. No one's taught them what accounting even looks like, or how to put a budget together, or to just get organized, tracking expenses and income. It's
sure.
So that's the goal. That's the purpose. That's what drives me. Though I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that those mentors of mine eliminated or helped eliminate, they flattened the learning curve, the hard lessons, the loneliness, the stress. Not to say that there's not stress and all that involved. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner or manager, leader, like you're going to have it. Like I tell my crew guys, are like, you're on your phone all the time. You need to be helped. Like you want this thing take this for 24 hours and understand the stress that's involved with running a business. But if you can make, if we can take, these operations, these companies, these leaders, 10, I think I would still be in a pretty massive learning curve if I wouldn't have had their help. Like, I really think
Sure.
I would still just now be starting to figure some things out, because it doesn't happen without practice. It doesn't happen without experiencing the hard times, the mistakes, the should have done this instead of that. You can eliminate that, and you take a 10-year curve and reduce it down to a 2 or 3 or less, where you can get on with running your business profitably, efficiently, smoothly, logistically. You start building a good culture. I didn't know what
Yep.
culture was before I talked to Joe Doherty. I didn't have a clue. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I just need to hire guys that know how to lay blacktop, and I need a
That's right.
paver, and I need trucks. Like, what's culture got? That's like, culture's like for fancy businesses. Like, no.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. In expanding from culture, operations, everything, there is a huge gap in the paving industry. And obviously, you did have a massive advantage by getting that in-person kind of help. But when we first started working together, you talk about getting all those social media messages and everything. We really, so I started off, my background is in creativity and audio engineering, and I got into video production. And I got good at making videos, but what I was realizing was that there was no data to back up and no plan for what to do with these videos. So the reason I got into marketing was to see, like, how do I prove my value through my creativity? And so when we started off on social media, we started off producing videos, and we really didn't know why. We knew that it would, if the customers went to our social media, that it would be proof that we are a legitimate company, we are professional, we take things seriously, and that we're targeting a certain type of customer that has our standards and that takes pride in their property as much as we take pride in the work. Well, what we found out was, I mean, what percentage of messages do you get on social media that are from paving industry professionals versus customers?
Most
Yeah.
80% or better, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is just such a massive gap. And hearing you just talk about everything that we hope to encapsulate here, sometimes I wonder if we're going to go too broad and we need to kind of narrow it down, but we have narrowed it down to kind of the contractor space and the paving industry specifically. And there are just tons of topics with zero resources out there for the paving industry. So I know I am absolutely thrilled to get involved in this. And so I just want to quickly go over the format for this podcast. And what we're going to be doing each week is picking one of those topics and diving into it. We're going to have hopefully some data around each of the topics that can support some of our theories, but also have a conversation about it and include some of the listeners as well. We want the feedback. We want topic ideas. We want to hear your problems. So this is going to be a very conversational type podcast, and we're looking forward to addressing some of those questions that people have. And where we get those questions is from a yearly paving industry report that we do that will be coming up here shortly. Our most popular content, we've learned what people respond to best on social media and what people actually are wanting to know more about. Search query results, and also probably the most frequent, as we talked about, is those personal messages in your social media inbox that keep coming in. We will have a way for you to submit your questions along with signing up for notifications via email. If that's your preference, we're going to get that going, but we really just wanted to get this first intro episode out of the way so we could submit the podcast, get this ball rolling. For now, though, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at ADC Paving on Instagram, and we'll be having more resources for you here shortly. There are only a few things that I really wanted to talk about this intro episode, so I'll go ahead and get those out of the way. When we talk about marketing and culture as concepts that we want to talk about, I know when you spoke earlier about culture, it seems to be the same thing with marketing. Business owners think it's these two words that are floating in the clouds. that they hope to attain, that they hope that they can put some kind of process or poster board up on the wall and that it's taken care of. We both know that work can suck, and you've talked about before how paving is a tough industry. It's one of the hardest industries in America, but the power that a good work environment has and the momentum it can gain you for reaching your goals is tremendous. And I personally started my own business because I couldn't take the lack of culture, the lack of operations that were involved in some of my previous jobs. We do lots of work that was pointless and redundant, and we would do work and knowing that we would have to go back and fix it. And so getting away from that mentality that you just go to work to punch a clock without purpose absolutely drives me bananas. And it's something I'm so proud that I get to experience with you and your paving company all the time now. So I didn't know I was going to be a marketer. I just had a passion for creativity and telling people stories, and everything that I've learned as far as what works on that end. I know I'm excited to bring you that, and I'm excited to present the information on culture and operations from your standpoint. So I am I am almost jittery right now and ready to record. And I cannot wait to see how we can help people, because I know it's being asked for. But in kind of just wrapping up this intro episode, Kevin, is there anything in particular you wanted to address again before we dive into next week's episode?
Man, I don't think so. I mean, the people that have been watching, and let me say again, let me thank you, like sincerely. Like like you said, when we started this, I think when we started, just kind of marketing 4 years ago, it legit. Like, I'll just be honest. Like, I saw some people doing some cool stuff on Instagram. I was like, we need to put out some cool freaking paving video. Like, you kind of wanted to sit at the cool kids table and be like, we can do that. It's kind of wanted to be cool. If I'm being honest, like if I'm being completely
I remember.
transparent, it's like,
and even that worked.
And like it started out, and I think one of the first things we did was we made that that commercial for the University of Kentucky Citrus Bowl game that we aired on television. Like, we want a badass video. We want we want to look like the baddest mamma jamma paving mofos in the on the planet. And that was it. And we did. It was pretty badass. By the way, the Citrus, we're back in the Citrus Bowl this year, so maybe we can revisit that. Go Cats. But what I've found, and this is why I'm thanking you, like you have been able to take who we are, who ADC, what we believe in, what our culture really looks like, who our people are, who I am, and you have we've gone from being, let's make some flashy cool videos, to this is who we really are. And this is what we do every day. And this is what we believe in. This is what we stand for. These are the experiences we owe our customers. These are the experiences and environment that we owe our employees. And without that, the inbox wouldn't be flooding, because there are plenty of people out there that have some really cool videos. Like, and that's awesome. Like, there's some good production out there. There's amazing companies out there that put out some really good content. But to me, that's just, again, it's in a knock. I mean, please nobody take this wrong way. It's just stuff. Like, there's no meat and potatoes. There's no really substance to it. You know what I'm saying? And you have allowed the world to see the substance that we have here. You've allowed the world to see the substance of who I am. You have allowed people to, for whatever reason, believe in me, have faith in me.
Oh, there's
trust
reason.
me. Well,
my job was easy from that angle. I appreciate the praise. But yeah,
you've promoted that without even necessarily knowing we were promoting that. And that's why we're here.
Sure.
And again, none of this would be possible without our relationship. None of this would be possible without your vision behind that camera. Seeing what you're seeing, hearing what you're hearing, and being able to put that back out for other people to hear and see. Right. So,
Right.
without
Oh, yeah.
that, none of this exists. We're just a paving contractor that does pretty good work in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, we're a lot more than that, and we want to show
Absolutely.
people that they can be a lot more than that. There's more to this than transplanting rocks. Very
Absolutely.
little of what we do, what we stand for, what we believe in, the experience we want to deliver to our employees, and most importantly, to our customers. And if we don't take care of our employees and create that atmosphere for them, there ain't a snowball chance in hell that they're going to give that to our employees. There's
That's right.
0% chance that our customers are going to feel any special treatment, any level of different, outstanding, superior customer experience if we
Sure.
don't create that kind of experience here in these walls. So this is way bigger than blacktop for me. This is way bigger than making helping people become better business owners, more profitable, better leaders, more efficient. We're going to do all that too, but we want to show people that you can be better people, that
Absolutely.
you can serve humankind. We're not just serving parking lots, we're serving people, and we are changing lives. That's it.
I have decided to do this because I am truly passionate about it, this podcast, because I've seen it when you find those relationships like you and I found. Like I was a new company in the video marketing space when I approached you, but there's something about the relationship that is synergistic, and it's also about finding those relationships, and it goes back to topics we'll be talking about with employees and stuff like that. When you have someone that can change the future, I appreciate your kind words, as I've done for you, but obviously that you've done for me as well. You got to hold on to it, you got to foster it, and you got to pay attention to it. And from a marketing perspective, I knew that I didn't want any tricks, I didn't want any shortcuts. I wanted a lasting brand image for you. And since you had all these things already instilled, from my angle, the documentary style of marketing is the absolute best way to go. And I think it's the way marketing in general is going for the future. We all have the technology, whether you have high-end equipment or not. We all have the technology to be able to represent yourself and your company in a certain way to the world. And if you do it properly, if it's the way you truly operate, it resonates through your staff, and it increases the capability of every other production aspect to go up when people come in with the right attitudes. So it was something that has worked out very well. And just being able to provide that data and that backbone and the reasoning, it has turned into something that is much more. And I couldn't possibly be more excited. So thanks for your kind words, but let's go. Let's get this thing, man. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm pumped, brother.
That's right. Well, we will once again, we will be releasing episodes of the Pave It Forward podcast on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and we'll be on all major platforms soon enough. So go ahead and check in there if you're not already listening. If you are already listening, obviously go ahead and subscribe. That's the next step. And Kevin and I couldn't be more thrilled. We will catch you on the next episode, where we will look to continue to help leaders in the paving industry who are looking to run more efficiently, meet their ideal customers, and improve the lives of those around them through meaningful work. This has been the Pave It Forward podcast. Thanks for listening.